Adelaide is South Australia's cosmopolitan coastal capital. Its ring of parkland on the River Torrens is home to renowned museums such as the Art Gallery of South Australia, displaying expansive collections including noted Indigenous art, and the South Australian Museum, devoted to natural history. The city's Adelaide Festival is an annual international arts gathering with spin-offs including fringe and film events. Adelaide is the capital city of South Australia, the state's largest city and the fifth most populous city in Australia. Adelaide may refer to either Greater Adelaide, including the Adelaide Hills, or the Adelaide City Centre. The demonym Adelaidean is used to denote the city and the residents of Adelaide. The traditional owners of the Adelaide region are the Kaurna. The area of the city centre and surrounding parklands is called Tarndanya in the Kaurna language. Adelaide is situated on the Adelaide Plains north of the Fleurieu Peninsula, between the Gulf St. Vincent in the west and the Mount Lofty Ranges in the east. Its metropolitan area extends 20 kilometers 12 miles from the coast to the foothills of the Mount Lofty Ranges, and stretches 96 kilometers 60 miles from Gawler in the north to Selkirk Beach in the south. Today, Adelaide is known by its many festivals and sporting events, its food and wine, its coastline and hills, its large defence and manufacturing sectors and its emerging space sector, including the Australian Space Agency being headquartered here. Adelaide's quality of life has ranked consistently highly in various measures through the 21st century, at one stage being named Australia's most livable city. As South Australia's government and commercial centre, Adelaide is the site of many governmental and financial institutions. Most of these are concentrated in the city centre along the cultural boulevards of North Terrace and King William Street. Adelaide is north of the Fleurieu Peninsula, on the Adelaide Plains between the Gulf St. Vincent and the low-lying Mount Lofty Ranges. The city stretches 20 kilometers 12 miles from the coast to the foothills, and 90 kilometers 56 miles from Gawler at its northern extent to Selkirk Beach in the south. According to the Regional Development Australia, an Australian government planning initiative, the Adelaide Metropolitan Region has a total land area of 870 square kilometres 340 square miles, while a more expansive definition by the Australian Bureau of Statistics defines a Greater Adelaide statistical area totaling 3,259.8 square kilometres 1,258.6 square miles. The city sits at an average elevation of 50 metres, 160 feet, above sea level. Mount Lofty, east of the Adelaide Metropolitan Region in the Adelaide Hills at an elevation of 727 metres, 2,385 feet, is the tallest point of the city and in the state south of Bu'a. The city borders the temperate grassland of South Australia in the east, an endangered vegetation community. Much of Adelaide was bushland before British settlement, with some variation. Sandhills, swamps and marshlands were prevalent around the coast. The loss of the sandhills to urban development had a particularly destructive effect on the coastline due to erosion. Where practical, the government has implemented programs to rebuild and vegetate sandhills at several of Adelaide's beachside suburbs. Tennyson Dunes is the largest contiguous, tertiary dune system contained entirely within metropolitan Adelaide, providing refuge for a variety of remnant species formerly found along the entire coastline. Much of the original vegetation has been cleared, with what is left to be found in reserves such as the Cleland National Park and Belair National Park. A number of creeks and rivers flow through the Adelaide region. The largest are the Torrens and Onkaparinga catchments. Adelaide relies on its many reservoirs for water supply, with the Happy Valley Reservoir supplying around 40% and the much larger Mount Bold Reservoir 10% of Adelaide's domestic requirements respectively. Adelaide was consistently ranked in the world's 10 most livable cities through the 2010s by the Economist Intelligence Unit. In June 2021, The Economist ranked Adelaide the third most livable city in the world, behind Auckland and Osaka. In June 2023, Adelaide was ranked the 12th most livable city in the world by the Economist Intelligence Unit. In December 2021, Adelaide was named the world's second national park city, After the state government had lobbied for this title. It was ranked the most livable city in Australia by the Property Council of Australia, based on surveys of residents' views of their own city, between 2010 and 2013, dropping to second place in 2014. Adelaide, as the capital of South Australia, is the seat of the Government of South Australia. The bicameral Parliament of South Australia consists of the lower house known as the House of Assembly and the upper house known as the Legislative Council. The Adelaide metropolitan area is divided between 19 local government areas. At its centre, the City of Adelaide administers the Adelaide City Centre, North Adelaide, and the surrounding Adelaide parklands. Adelaide's inhabitants are known as Adelaideans. Manufacturing, defence technology, high-tech electronic systems and research, commodity export and corresponding service industries all play a role in the SA economy. Almost half of all cars produced in Australia were made in Adelaide at the Holden Elizabeth plant in Elizabeth. Education forms an increasingly important part of the city's economy, with the South Australian government and educational institutions attempting to position Adelaide as Australia's education hub and marketing it as a learning city. Adelaide is the birthplace of 3 Nobel laureates, more than any other Australian city, physicist William Lawrence Bragg and pathologists Howard Florey and Robin Warren, all of whom completed secondary and tertiary education at St. Peter's College and the University of Adelaide. There are 3 public universities local to Adelaide, as well as 1 private university and 3 constituent colleges of foreign universities. Flinders University of South Australia, the University of Adelaide, the University of South Australia and Torrens University Australia, part of the Laureate International Universities, are based in Adelaide. The University of Adelaide was ranked in the top 150 universities worldwide. Flinders ranked in the top 250 and Uni-SA in the top 300. Torrens University Australia is part of an international network of over 70 higher education institutions in more than 30 countries worldwide. The historic Torrens building in Victoria Square houses Carnegie Mellon University's Heinz College Australia, and University College London School of Energy and Resources, Australia, and constitute the city's international university precinct. There are several South Australian TAFE, technical and further education, campuses in the metropolitan area that provide a range of vocational education and training. The Adelaide College of the Arts, as a school of TAFE-SA, provides nationally recognized training in visual and performing arts. As the state capital, Adelaide has a great number of cultural institutions, many of them along the boulevard of North Terrace. The Art Gallery of South Australia, with about 35,000 works, holds Australia's second largest state-based collection. Adjacent are the South Australian Museum and State Library of South Australia. The Adelaide Botanic Garden, National Wine Centre and Tandania National Aboriginal Cultural Institute are nearby in the east end of the city. In the back of the State Library lies the Migration Museum, Australia's oldest museum of its kind. The Adelaide Festival Centre, which includes the Dunstan Playhouse, Festival Theatre and Space Theatre, on the banks of the Torrens, is the focal point for much of the cultural activity in the city and home to the State Theatre Company of South Australia. Other live music and theatre venues include the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, Adelaide Oval, Memorial Drive Park, Thebarton Theatre, Adelaide Town Hall, Her Majesty's Theatre, Queen's Theatre, Holden Theatres, and the Hopgood Theatre. The Lion Arts Factory, within the Lion Arts Centre, hosts contemporary music in a wide range of genres, as does the Gov in Hindmarsh. The city also has numerous smaller theatres, pubs, and cabaret bars which host performances. The main sports played professionally in Adelaide are Australian rules football, soccer, cricket, netball, and basketball. Adelaide is the home of 2 Australian Football League teams, the Adelaide Football Club and Port Adelaide Football Club, and 1 A-League soccer team, Adelaide United. A local Australian rules football league, the South Australian National Football League, SANFLO, is made up of 10 teams from around Adelaide. The Sandflow has been in operation since 1877 when it began as the South Australian Football Association, SAFA, before changing its name to the Sandflow in 1927. The Sandflow is the oldest surviving football league of any code played in Australia. Adelaide has developed a strong culture of attracting crowds to major sporting events. Until the completion of the 2012-14 renovation and upgrade of the Adelaide Oval, most large sporting events took place at either Football Park, the then home base of the Adelaide Crows, and the then Port Adelaide home game venue, or the historic Adelaide Oval, home of the South Australia Redbacks and the Adelaide Strikers cricket teams. Since completion of the upgrade, home games for Adelaide Crows and Port Adelaide now take place at Adelaide Oval. Since 1884, Adelaide Oval has also hosted an international cricket test every summer, along with a number of one-day international cricket matches. Memorial Drive Park, adjacent to the Adelaide Oval, used to host Davis Cup and other major tennis events, including the Australian Open and the Adelaide International. Adelaide's professional association football team, Adelaide United, play in the A-League. Founded in 2003, their home ground is Hindmarsh Stadium, which has a capacity of 17,000 and is one of the few purpose-built soccer stadia in Australia. Prior to United's foundation, Adelaide City and West Adelaide represented the city in the National Soccer League. The two sides, which contest the Adelaide Derby against one another, now play in the National Premier League South Australia. For 2 years, 1997 and 1998, Adelaide was represented in Australia's top-level rugby league, after the New South Wales Rugby League had played a single game per season at the Adelaide Oval for 5 years starting in 1991. The Adelaide Rams were formed and played in the Breakaway Super League, SL, competition in 1997 before moving to the new National Rugby League in 1998. Initially playing at the Adelaide Oval, the club moved to the more suitable Hindmarsh Stadium late in the 1998 season. As part of a peace deal with the Australian Rugby League to end the Super League war, the club's owners News Limited, who were also owners of the SL, suddenly closed the club only weeks before the start of the 1999 season. Adelaide has two professional basketball teams, the men's team being the Adelaide 36ers which plays in the National Basketball League, NBL, and the women's team, the Adelaide Lightning which plays in the Women's National Basketball League, WNBL. Both teams play their home games at the Titanium Security Arena. Adelaide has a professional netball team, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, which plays in the national netball competition, the Suncorp Super Netball Championship, with home games played at Netball SA Stadium. The Thunderbirds occasionally play games or finals at the Titanium Security Arena, while international netball matches are usually played at the 10,500-seat Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The Titanium Security Arena has a capacity of 8,000 and is the largest purpose-built basketball stadium in Australia. Since 1999, Adelaide and its surrounding areas have hosted the Tour Down Under bicycle race, organised and directed by Adelaide-based Michael Turter. Turter won an Olympic gold medal for Australia in the 4,000 team pursuit at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. The Tour Down Under is the largest cycling event outside Europe and was the first event outside Europe to be granted UCI Pro Tour status. Adelaide maintains a franchise in the Australian Baseball League, the Adelaide Giants. They have been playing since 2009, and their home stadium, until 2016, was Norwood Oval. From 2016 the team moved to the Diamond Sports Stadium located near the Adelaide International Airport due to renovations at Norwood. Adelaide also has an ice hockey team, Adelaide Adrenaline in the Australian Ice Hockey League, AIHL. It was national champions in 2009 and plays its games at the Ice Arena. The Australian Grand Prix for World Championship Formula One racing was hosted by Adelaide from 1985 to 1995 on the Adelaide Street Circuit, which was laid out in the city's East End as well as the eastern parklands including the Victoria Park Racecourse. The Grand Prix became a source of pride, and losing the event to Melbourne in a surprise announcement in mid-1993 left a void that has since been filled with the Adelaide 500 for V8 supercar racing, held on a modified version of the same street circuit. The Classic Adelaide, a rally of classic sporting vehicles, is also held in the city and its surrounds. Adelaide formerly had 3 horse racing venues: Victoria Park, Cheltenham Park Racecourse, both of which have now closed, and Morphettville Racecourse that remains the home of the South Australian Jockey Club. It also has Globe Derby Park for harness racing that opened in 1969, and by 1973 had become Adelaide's premier harness racing venue, taking over from the Wayville Showgrounds, as well as Greyhound Park for greyhound racing that opened in 1972. The World Solar Challenge race attracts teams from around the world, most of which are fielded by universities or corporations, although some are fielded by high schools. The race has a 20 years history spanning 9 races, with the inaugural event taking place in 1987. Adelaide hosted the 2012 World Bowls Championships at Lockleys Bowling Club, becoming the 3rd city in the world to have held the championships twice, having previously hosted the event in 1996. Dirt track speedway is also popular in Adelaide with 3 operating speedways. Adelaide Motorsport Park, located adjacent to the Adelaide International Raceway road racing circuit at Virginia, 24 kilometers 15 miles north of the city centre, has been in continuous operation since 1979 after the closure of the popular Rowley Park Speedway. Gilman Speedway, located in the semi-industrial suburb of Gilman, has been in operation since 1998 and caters to motorcycle speedway and sidecars, while the Sidewinders Speedway located in Wingfield is also a motorcycle speedway dedicated to under-16 riders and has been in operation since 1978. In 2016, backed by South Australia's Peregrine Corporation, opened up a multi-purpose facility, a state-of-the-art motorsporting park and a hotel alongside its newer Otter service station outside a small township of Tailem Bend, currently named the Bend Motorsport Park. Designed for thrill seekers and revheads, the facility currently hosts South Australia's 2nd Supercars motoring event during a round in August. Adelaide is home to the Great Southern Slam, the world's largest roller derby tournament. The tournament has been held biennially over Australia's Queen's Birthday holiday weekend since 2010. In 2014 and 2016 the tournament featured 45 teams playing in 2 divisions. In 2018, the tournament has expanded to 48 teams competing in 3 divisions. The Adelaide metropolitan area has 2 commercial airports, Adelaide Airport and Parafield Airport. Adelaide Airport, in Adelaide's southwestern suburbs, serves in excess of 8 million passengers annually. Parafield Airport, Adelaide's 2nd airport, 18 kilometers, 11 miles, north of the city centre, is used for small aircraft, pilot training and recreational aviation purposes. Parafield Airport served as Adelaide's main aerodrome until the opening of the Adelaide Airport in February 1955. Adelaide Airport serves many international and domestic destinations, including all Australian state capitals. Adelaide is also home to a military airport, known as Edinburgh Airport, located in the northern suburbs. It was built in 1955 in a joint initiative with the United Kingdom for weapon development. Adelaide's 2 largest hospitals are the Royal Adelaide Hospital, RA, in Adelaide Parklands, a teaching hospital affiliated with the University of Adelaide, 800 beds, and the Flinders Medical Centre, 580 beds, at Bedford Park, affiliated with Flinders University. The RA also operates additional campuses for specialist care throughout the suburbs, including the Hampstead Rehabilitation Centre, 150 beds, at Northfield, and the Glenside Campus, 129 beds, for acute mental health services. Other major public hospitals are the Women's and Children's Hospital, 305 beds, at North Adelaide, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, 340 beds, at Woodville, Modbury Hospital, 178 beds, at Modbury, and the Lyell McEwen Hospital, 198 beds, at Elizabeth Vale. Numerous private hospitals are also located throughout the city, with the largest operators being not-for-profits Adelaide Community Healthcare Alliance, 3 hospitals, and Calvary Care, 4 hospitals. Adelaide Free Wi-Fi is a citywide free Wi-Fi network covering most of the inner-city areas of Adelaide, primarily the Adelaide CBD and Northern Adelaide precincts. It was officially launched at the Adelaide Central Markets on Tuesday, June 25, 2014. It is provided by Internode, with infrastructure provided by outdoor Cisco Wi-Fi and access points attached to the top of lighting poles, as well as inside cafes and businesses across the city. Thank you for watching this video.